Nathan, Jody, we're live. How's everything going today, guys?
Going pretty good. Little struggling a little bit, but trying to make heads or tails of the situation. But we're doing all right.
I'm sore. That's all I am. So
Why are you struggling?
Let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a time in the sport where you just want to just take a break because you feel bummed out because you can't get the necessary training that you would like to have? And sometimes you just want to say F it, you know? I'm kind of at that point now. I'm not trying to blast my teammates, but at the same time, it's just inconsistency. And I'm not talking about family, life, family, work. I'm not talking about that. It's just the training I used to have with my team is not where it used to be. And so I think that's what I'm lacking. Therefore, when I go to these tournaments, I don't do as well as I should. I don't know. Have y'all ever gone through that before?
If you would have stopped your question at the first part where you said, if there's ever been a time when you thought about taking some time from this, I would have had a different answer. But you continued and you added all this other stuff. No, because there was a period of time where there was like 3 years where all I did was weight training because I couldn't consistently get guys to come and train for practices and stuff. And I mean, I still did okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time I was like down bad was when I had my shoulder reconstruction and my bicep reattached. But I mean, man, I can't complain about my team. We have Anthony Lowe, Danny Gillian, Robbie Burnett. Iron sharpens iron, and those guys make me better. So,
well, that's the thing. You have people there, and Nathan. Let me ask you: when you have a training session with your team, how long does it usually last?
2 hours. So we practice Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. Wednesday nights are mainly technique driven stuff, setups, working through different positions, nothing hard, 20-30% effort at the most. Right. And even on our Sunday practices, there's very little max effort stuff. It's a lot of the same, but we just bring up the intensity to 60%. So, I feel like if you're training too hard on the table with, like, there's times to go full out, right? But for me, there's not too much I'm going to learn on the table. So for me, it's just helping new guys get technique stuff and set up stuff and work on ready goes. Like somebody, when we have an event coming up like Arizona, we'll start drilling ready goes here in a couple weeks, getting our timing and stuff. And then other than that, I mean, we don't do a whole lot of, there's intense days, but like I said, a lot of it's like 50-60%.
Right. And like I said, this is not a throwing shade at my team. It's just, we used to be consistent. Now we're kind of not. It's starting to show. I understand stuff happening with injuries, and my work schedule's not the consistent because I work for the county now, so it's kind of up and down. But when I do, says, hey, I'm open. Who wants to come? And some do, some don't. And that's what it is. So it's like, all right, now I might just say fuck it. Oh, I meant screw it.
3 minutes, Jody. 3 minutes.
Yeah. All right, sorry. I might just say screw it and just hey, I'm just going to do my own thing. Weight train, you guys come, cool. If you don't, whatever. I'm still doing my thing. I might have to start kind of having that kind of attitude just to get where I need to be at a competitive standpoint. So anyway,
I think it's a good approach because like we have on average like 4 people at practice on Wednesdays. Like it's pretty small. Sundays we usually get around 6 or 7. So I can do more with those 4 guys, and some of them being smaller guys that are weaker. And I feel like I get a better workout with them anyways because I can put myself in bad spots and work myself out of those spots and so on and so forth. So.
Right.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying though, because there's been times where I've had frustration, over the years where guys weren't coming to practices, weren't showing up, and it just hasn't happened lately. It's been years with a consistent group. So I think that,
I think the one big thing that helps too, where I'm at compared to where you're at, Jody, is Texas has got a lot of teams locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, if we're not practicing, like if we're not going to have a practice on Sunday, there's going to be one on a Saturday or a Friday. So you can always find something.
Right. It just, for me, it just got to a point where, I was like, well, damn, do I just need to call it a fucking career to say fuck? Because it gets difficult
4
for
minutes.
Sorry, man. I'm off the hook today. It just makes it to where it gets frustrating to where it's like, why continue? I mean, and that crossed my mind a lot. So,
well, my thing is, Jody, like what are you going to learn on the table that you haven't already learned, right? Like table time's good. Everybody needs it. I completely agree. But there's things you could be doing in the weight room when people aren't showing up for practice that'll benefit you just as much, right? Like working on your deficiencies.
yeah.
I got Warren Kernot in the house. He's a new provincial champion last weekend. Adam Thompson, newly elected to the MAWA Board of Directors.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yeah. So, speaking of core guys, Warren has been a part of. He started arm wrestling the same time I did. Same place.
Did you do any pulling at provincials?
I did not. I did some after pulls. I pulled the super heavyweight champ.
No, that's what I meant, like after pulls.
Yeah. No, I did. Left arm only, of course. Felt pretty good.
Good. We also got Russ, Dustin, Ryan, Boussier in the chat. Welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
Yeah.
Is that Russ Schrader?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. He'll be seeing Anthony in a few weeks. About a month. They're in that Air 64 man, super heavy.
Hey, and there's Ward Drake, also newly elected to the MAWA Board of Directors. So, onward and upward, great things going to happen with that board. Whether there has been a little bit of recent frustration. Remember the 12-year-old voting thing we talked about?
Did they get rid of it?
Well, I mean, it won't come up again until 2 years from now when there's another election, so they've got time. But yeah. What else am I going to tell you guys? I want to address something, and it's going to be probably a little soapbox of mine, because I'm at a loss here because I'm being called things like corrupt or abusing my power as president of the Canadian Arm Wrestling Federation. And this is all stemming from an occurrence that happened with the Ethics Advisory Committee. And I obviously can't get into details because I don't know them, but it was over on Burgoyne's channel. They were talking it up last night. And they're very much overestimating what my ability in this sport or in this organization is. I have one vote, and I do not control that committee. They did something, and it is on them. I have no influence over it. I am not part of the appeal process, and I do not help make that decision one way or another. So whatever happened, happened, and it happened without my hands on it. They can choose to believe that or not. But it is very unfair to go on and have these conversations without all the facts. And there was no effort being made to get those. So I'll leave it at that.
Shocking.
Why can't we just get along?
Well, that's the issue, because it started with people not getting along, and then someone made a complaint. And I don't know what the basis of it all is, or what the investigation took place, or who made it even. So it's an interesting situation, and
everybody's always going to look for something to.
Yeah, but
the clickbait.
I'm a nice favorite target for people over this subject. So it's these guys need to get over it.
I don't agree how, and this has been going on the last couple of weeks now, just where our sport has been going. Well, it's been going the last X amount of years, but just recently in the last couple of weeks, with all the tirade about certain organizations and certain people being disrespected and all that kind of stuff. And, like I posted a video a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago now, and it was discussing the fact that, kind of what Nathan was, talking about. We spend so much time and hours in the gym or on our practice table with our teams or whatnot, just to take all that energy, and instead of putting it on the competition table, we put it on the keyboard and just start going off one another. And it's kind of like we kind of lost sight of what we're training for. And there's been times that crossed my mind where it's like, I'd rather go back to the underground sport that we used to be, because at least you didn't have all the nonsense.
The Northeast message board days.
There was checks and balances too. Like if you said something, you couldn't do it from the anonymity of an alias, right?
Yeah.
So I will say this on my subject just to close it out.
Yeah.
There is an election for the president of the Canadian Arm Wrestling Federation that is happening at the National Championships coming up very soon. There is an election. If everyone feels strongly that someone should or should not be president, they need to talk with their provincial reps and the executive and make sure that happens. Or step up themselves. And at least you will get an understanding over how the processes work there. Otherwise, it's not worth my energy to have my name dragged through the mud. So if you're not going to offer an alternative, maybe just shut up about it.
Not to mention, dude, you haven't done anything.
It's hard to
You're going to leave to go to – when do you leave to go to Knuckles Up?
On Friday morning.
See, you're focused on that. Like, look.
I should be. I should be.
Right. I mean, let's be real. We should be talking about Knuckles Up 3 and –
Can we also talk about the fact that they added Bowen and Schoolboy to the King of the Table card?
Can we hit on that? Is that June 1st?
That is June 1st.
This is a real-time reaction because I honestly,
they added Schoolboy.
That is the first I've heard.
Ryan Bowen. Ryan Bowen and Schoolboy are now added to the KOT card, which
Ryan went live on the show, or kind of a short clip on his channel either yesterday or the day before. And because I guess they've been kind of going back and forth and things happen, and now it's on the card. My question is it enough time to get ready for that match?
I mean, I think Ryan has more than enough time. I think he's trained. I mean, people can say what they want about him, but the dude's dedicated. He trains his butt off. And my question is, what happens to Schoolboy if he loses this match to Ryan? Because he just gotten beat by Leonidas. He got beat by Khalid.
It depends. In my opinion, my immediate thought is that it depends what happens to Ryan next. Does that make sense?
Well,
so if Ryan beats Schoolboy takes a hit to his, credibility, if you can call it that, unless Ryan goes on a tear and just starts killing people.
Yeah. And people can remember how people like to talk crap about Ingen and Ryan's big deal, and they hate each other and yada yada. Do people not realize Ingen was posting that match on his social media too? So
yeah, I think.
And Ingen made the comment too that if Ryan won a qualifier and came to Turkey and won, then Ryan would get a match. So this is big for Ryan, in my opinion, because if he shows up and he looks dominant against Schoolboy, I mean, the gates are going to open right back up for him again.
Yes, yeah. And I hope it does to a certain degree, because after his league kind of flopped, I guess you could say, with some of the big names they used to pull in his federation, that kind of just went, hey, Matarangi and
Matarangi was just there. They just did a round robin.
Oh, okay. But his promotion, though, remember?
Yeah, that kid from South Africa destroyed everybody. It was crazy. But I get what you're saying. But this is, to me, it's big for Ryan because this opens up more matches at King of the Table if he looks absolutely dominant. So,
is it a catch weight?
No, I think it's just whatever. I think it's open weight.
Okay.
I don't think there is a weight cap from what I've seen. So, it's got me intrigued. I mean, to me, it's not the most intriguing match on the card, but we can cover that on a different day, obviously.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if y'all saw it or not. So
I had not.
He said, Ryan goes, it's officially on. So I'm thinking, okay, all right. So now I can't wait to see the next episode of Bowen and RVJ, since they got their own podcast thing going now. Now I can't wait to see what he says then. So
my early thought is I think Bowen will win that match.
I think if it comes down to a stamina war, Schoolboy doesn't stand a chance.
Right.
I've seen some things from Ryan over the years where he's pulled in matches, and I've been really impressed with his willingness to sacrifice a win in order to win the overall super match. like hitting for position and bleeding guys out a little bit in certain spots.
The big
and
match
then managing to come back.
The match that really comes to mind when you say that, Ryan, is his match against Mosier. His second match against Mosier when he beat him. That really put Ryan on the map because at that time Mosier was destroying everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that was big.
Yeah. No, I like it. I think do you think Schoolboy's comfortable in super matches yet?
I don't think so. I mean, he's just
hard.
He's flopped in every super match he's had, hasn't he? I don't think he's won one, has he?
I don't know.
Let's see here. Didn't he pull another East First West besides?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, he beat Herman. Remember?
Hmm.
But Herman that was East First West 1, and Herman was a last minute replacement. Remember, or 2, or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because Herman was just going to be in the corner of Jonathan Breeder that day, and
and then
Herman got that kind of fell in his lap.
But the thing too, if you look at that match, Herman was untrained, preparing for a super match, and still managed to get not only stops but a pin on Schoolboy as well.
So,
yeah.
And Herman's a bad dude too. I don't think people realize how Herman's good.
Yeah. Well, should we get to the
weekend that be?
The weekend that be.
Yes.
Now, who's willing to make predictions?
I am. I'm ready to go. Jody, you said you're doing what exactly? Are you doing an online commentating?
Yep.
Now you're doing that on your channel.
I got permission to do it on my channel if I want. I just can't show the footage.
Okay, yeah. So you're doing a play-by-play. I got you.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It was something new.
Aren't we doing I'm a little confused, but we're doing the halftime report.
Yep.
But I'm unclear on who's asking what questions to who.
They're going to have, apparently, Knuckles Up, we're going to have some series of questions already prepared for us.
Yeah.
You know me, I like to shoot from the hip, but they're going to have some stuff lined up for us. And then you and somebody are going to do one match, and then you and I are going to do one match, and somebody else is going to do it. Yeah, that's how they're going to do that. So it's going to be interesting. So the fact that they reached out to me to do something like this is an honor in itself. So.
Right.
For sure.
Well, I'm pretty excited about it. I know it's hard to tell because my mood is just the shits at the moment. But
I think there's only one match on the card I have no clue on. But
which one?
There's the 2 Korean gentlemen pulling each other, I think.
Yeah.
Not Beck and Tom Holland. Yeah, the other one I have no clue on. And if they're not Korean, I apologize. I don't want to offend anybody.
Well, I'll tell you what. That card is just, the events at Knuckles Up is getting better and better and better, and I like it. The fact that it's in the States. I like the fact that, because it's not a different country, you don't have to wake up at a certain time of the day to watch it. So
yeah,
that's good,
Well, we can break it down a little bit. Let's go your predictions, Nathan. Let's go with 2 yours.
All right.
So Jason Merlot versus
Give me some matches.
Jason versus Mario.
So I was actually watching Paul Italia's live stream a little bit last night, and somebody made a comment that they think that Mario is going to try to drag hook Jason. I'm like, and if he tries that, that is the worst idea he could possibly have in that match.
Who said that?
I think it was the AWE guy, the other Australian.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, if he tries that, you're just playing right into Jason's hands. So please don't do that.
Hollywood said that.
Because it's the AWE guy. Is he trolling or is he?
No, I think he's truly pulling for Mario, right?
Right. Is he like the cat out of the bag a little bit?
I just hope
making shit up.
I have no clue because Jason is has so much good pressure this way. If you try to drag hook him, you're gonna go like this. You're gonna end up in this position. And I've ref Mario and seen Mario pull in person. I don't think Mario has the integrity in the elbow and the side pressure to finish from this position.
Well,
I just really don't.
I'll tell you, the ones that think Mario's going to win, they really think Mario's going to win.
Oh yeah, I mean Mario is the bigger human being, right? But the thing that is going to be difficult for Mario is he's going to have to do a water cut. He's coming down in weight to meet Jason, and Jason's literally a stone's throw from his home. So
And not only is he doing a water cut, he's doing it after a significant travel period.
exactly. So I think Jason. I have Jason as the favorite in this match, even though Mario is the bigger human being. Jason's been on a tear lately, and I think styles make matchups, and I think Jason's style is gonna wreak havoc on Mario. But I could be wrong.
I'm gonna write these down because even though we're not competing against you, I'm definitely gonna make fun of you if you get them wrong.
Well, I would expect you to. So
Listen,
I
first
wouldn't
of
have
all,
it any other way.
Jason Merlo is the face that runs the place at Knuckles Up, right? Like you said, it's in his backyard. He's undefeated, right? So why wouldn't he be the favorite? Yes.
There's a lot of but I think there's a lot of underlying factors like the travel from Australia. That's a long trip. And then having to do a pretty significant water cut. Because I think Mario walks around north of 230. So
Not to mention, if you go from Australia to the U.S., you're kind of going back in time, aren't you?
yeah, you're going back a day. So
you're reliving history, man.
So I have Jason. I would say 3-1. I think Mario gets a pin at some point, but I think Jason wins 3-1.
All right, let's talk about Tom versus Beck, and this is an interest. Like I find this super. I think this will be super competitive.
I think so too because Tom Holland's never in a boring match.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on if Beck can get his to a spot before Tom gets to his, right? So we know where the match is going. Tom's gonna try to take it here.
Right.
Beck's the bigger guy. Tom's a little bit smaller, but just Tom has such an incredible ability to get here and stay here. I mean, you look at the trouble he gave Merlo, and I mean, I have Tom Holland as a favorite in this match.
It's a nasty style for a super match.
Oh yeah, it's just death match style.
Yeah.
I have Tom winning. Yeah, 3-1 again.
3-1 again.
Yeah. It's a match I'm really looking forward to, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Help me out here, guys, because the next one is Danielle, or is it Daniel? Because I've heard it both ways.
Danielle Evanson.
Danielle.
Yes.
Someone said Daniel the other day. I was like,
no, that's a man's name.
I know. I know that, but and then Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia pulled a WAL, but she hasn't pulled. I haven't seen her lately, and Danielle's been looking really good, not only in arm wrestling but in grip strength stuff as well. Just because of like activity, I would go with Danielle.
Okay,
this will be interesting because I say this because not only does she have this weekend,
then she got next weekend.
Then it's the freaking the ladies round robin that she's involved in also.
And then 2 weeks after that, she has Arizona State.
So she's going to be busy in the next upcoming weeks. And
3 out of 4 weeks, yeah.
My question is she going to have enough juice in the tank by the time she hits Arizona State? Hell, or even the round robin for that matter, depending on how this match goes.
Yeah, I mean, she has to win in order to be. I mean, because I have her as in her weight class at the round robin, I have her finishing top 3, like based on who all's there, in my opinion. So
yes, Warren, she has that $1 million smile. Yes, that is true.
Yep. But I would say Danielle, just like I said, because of recent activity and just how she's looked lately. She's looked incredible,
and she is super duper duper stronger than she looks.
Oh my God, yeah,
she can move some weight.
Yeah, she's a freak, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the most positive, respectful way ever. Like she is a freak when it comes to like horsepower to weight ratio, as you figure it. So,
all right, man. Well, let's go on to Roger versus John.
Both on their off arm. I mean, they're both left hand dominant. John's the bigger human. I think that's going to come into play too.
Roger's like 230, 235. John's probably around 260, give or take.
And John's been pulling a lot longer than Roger too. So I
more
think
frequently.
I think experience could come down to this. I have John winning the match. 3-1.
I'm intrigued about this match for other reasons, but yes.
I think John wins 3-1. I think he lets Roger get in a spot one match just to test it out, and then might not want to go there again.
Yeah, I think John's got that dog in him. He will let Roger go where he wants just to feel it out. Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. Wayne, Mega Mike versus Wayne Withers.
Oh my God, I've gone back and forth on this match.
Really?
Yeah. So here's how I see it. Wayne is an incredible top roller, but if you watched him at Nationals not long ago, Wayne took some lickings bad. Like he finished, I think, 4th or 5th at Nationals.
I did not see that. Did anyone of note beat him?
The dude that won Worlds, IFA Worlds beat him. He's a flop presser, and he took Wayne straight to the pad. He only lost, I think, guys that pressed that day. So,
well, that's also very telling if Mike is watching.
Yeah, exactly. So I do think if you go horsepower, Mike definitely has the stronger arm.
Yeah, Wayne has the stronger hand.
Wayne has the stronger hand, but the hand's not going to come into play because Wayne would rather be in the straps. You and I both know that. Wayne is a strap-based top rolling puller. So, and Mike
their only option is for Wayne to probably go low hand in the strap.
Yeah, and Wayne doesn't typically low hand. He likes that high posting, and I think Mike has to be in the strap, otherwise his hand is going back.
Russ says Wayne had a long night before Nationals too.
Well, he shouldn't have did that. He knows
better. Nationals, people, come on.
Long night. What is the code? What is he trying to say?
This is why I say business first, celebrate second.
Yeah. But I've gone back and forth. I can see Wayne winning the match. I see Wayne's lane. I also see Mike's lane. But if Mike's going to win this match, I don't see it from this position. I don't see him getting this sunk in. He's going to have to win it from this position.
You see what Warren said? Well, first of all, Warren says, hey, got to run. But he wants to make a point that, hey, the flop won me the championship this year, last minute decision.
And I'm basing stuff that I know about people that have pulled Mike recently, like that I train with, and Mike's hand did this, and Mike had to finish them this way. So
yeah, if Mike gets this,
yeah, he's dangerous. Yeah, it's over for Wayne in my opinion.
If you can keep it here and then even kind of get that much, you're good.
Yeah. Wayne's man. Problem is, I'm going to see Mike in a few weeks, so if I don't pick Mike, and he'll get mad at me, but that's okay.
Provided he's watching this show anyway.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's California. he's probably flying right now, so I'm going to pick Wayne 3-2.
Ooh.
And by the way, shout out, happy birthday, Cody Merritt.
Yeah, happy birthday to Cody.
Just gotta throw it out there.
How old is he now? Because he's got to be close to grandmasters.
He doesn't look a day over 50.
He might be. Yeah, he might be 50. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I think him and I are roughly the same age.
He's still not that guy you want to see left-handed on the table, though.
No.
No matter his age.
Russ says 105.
In mileage.
He's not Santa. Leave Wayne. Leave him alone. Leave Cody alone.
He's working on it. Now, you guys know how to pronounce these names? Because I don't have a clue. More. Toshiyuki versus G.
And you know what? Can I be completely honest?
You don't know anything about these guys.
I don't. So I swear to God, if that's a question for me at the halftime show, I'm going to be really like, what the flip?
Oh, you can swear
Well,
now. It's 30 minutes in.
You better.
Oh, it's 30
now
minutes
we're
now?
30 minutes in. He says flip.
Shit.
So it's Toshioki, and
G.
I'm taking Toshioki just because I
Yeah.
like that name better.
And one of them is holding up a right arm in their photo, and one of them is holding up a left arm in their photo.
Which one's holding the right arm?
Toshiyuki.
I'm taking that one then.
Okay. Also, though, Mindaugas and BJ are both holding up opposite arms too.
Yeah, but that's okay. But
And
I'm still
so are
going
Camille and
Toshioki.
Myrtla.
Yeah, I know how that match is going too. So
Well, let's go BJ and Mindaugas first. This one,
man.
you know what? This one, even if I was making a pick, I certainly wouldn't be comfortable trying to decide who wins this match.
I like BJ. That's the thing. I just think
Well, of course.
this is a hard match for BJ.
I like both guys.
I don't know,
Because here's why I say that. It's just BJ doesn't have the arm that Mendigas does.
But
So
he
if
does
it
have
is-
the hand.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, I've seen BJ against guys that pull similar to Mendigas, and it's been a bad day for him. So, and that was, so I don't know where BJ's level's at now. I mean, I saw him pull Mississippi State last year.
How important is it that BJ stays out of the strap?
I think it's 100% important he stays out of the strap. I think he has to. So even if it goes to the strap, right? I think before he tries to go sideways, he has to get hand control.
Okay.
If he tries to go sideways without hand control, I think as he goes sideways, Mendigas is going to be able to get this engaged. So if he doesn't have, Mendigas slightly kicked back before he tries to go sideways, I think Mendigas' big old hand, strong hand, is going to be able to turn him in.
Well, here the last time we saw Mendigas pull, he pulled Breslin at arm guards, and Breslin's more of a defensive top row, if that makes sense. He catches people here and then kind of pivots and rolls them over, whereas BJ's like this.
Yeah, but that goes right back to what I was saying, Jody. If he doesn't have his control of the hand before he goes sideways, if he goes too offensive, and then Mendigas can catch him in this position, right?
Yeah.
And that's a bad day for BJ, in my opinion. I think he has to be semi-defensive, going sideways, but extremely offensive going backwards to separate Mendigas. Because Mendigas is, the AWE pads, weren't they bigger, I think? Aren't they a bigger pad?
I can't remember.
I don't recall. Okay.
I think, man, I'm going Mendigas in this one. As much as I like BJ, I think Mendigas right now is really strong. So, and I've this is just based on recent events that I've seen with BJ. So,
all right.
Sorry, BJ.
And that brings us to Camille and Myrtla.
I don't see Myrtla taking a round in this match.
When was the last time? Okay, well, I'll circle Camille and I'll put this off to the side. When was the last time we saw Myrtla arm wrestle?
Robbie Burnett, Oklahoma last year, Arnold qualifier, and hit in Oklahoma.
And how did it go with Robbie and him?
So Myrtla was faster on the hit. Robbie caught him, but literally had 0 fingers engaged. Like his fingers were completely off the hand and cupped in like this. And Robbie was able to hold him with just wrist flexion. And then as he started trying to work back, obviously having no finger engagement, Myrtla was able to pin him. But it was a long match. I know where Robbie was then. I know where Robbie is now, obviously, because I trained with him. Robbie's significantly stronger now. I don't think Myrtla beats Robbie right now. And as much as I love Robbie, I don't see him beating Camille. So I think Camille runs right through Myrtla. Because Myrtla isn't really a hooker, and he's not this way. That drag style hook to get Camille palm up and away from his press and on his bicep. He's not like Machishenko did him, where it was quick this way, or the way Hermes did Jerry, where it was quick this way and then the roll. So I could see Myrtla trying to go this way, and when he tries to go this way with the top roll, getting turned under and pressed. That's how I see it. And if it goes to the strap, Camille has a huge advantage in the strap too. So
Yeah. Levi Prince in the house.
Levi.
I think Camille wins this one pretty comfortably 3-0 for sure. Just based on, recent events.
Well, I mean, Camille is on a tear.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. The Sperong match was not easy. It went the distance.
Yeah. And people talk about shoulders in that match, and like if you
they
say whatever you want.
both had shoulder
exactly.
issues, right? So
yeah,
they
100%.
I mean, the job of the ref is to make it as fair as possible.
Yeah, I mean, like I was explaining to somebody the other day the new rule set. You know what I mean? The new rule set doesn't state that I think this is WAF and IFA. So the new rule set states, it used to be your wrist had to be flat to the short side of the table, right? Now, if we're starting like this, as long as our wrists are flat, we're fine. As long as our wrists are flat and we're both in this position, the match can start.
Slightly
but if, let's say, slightly carved. But if I'm a top roller and I want to be this way and you want to be this way, it goes back to the short side of the table rule.
Right. There's a few of those rules. Yeah. This is where it can get confusing for people, that if guys agree to both break them, they can be broken.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still know who the refs are?
I do not know. I should have asked.
I have no clue. I know Oleg's is in the States, so I don't know if he'll be doing it or not. I know he's in the States for a few months, so I have no clue.
I remember they announced, well, I mean, it led to lots of problems when they announced who the refs were for Knuckles Up 1.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just going to wait.
That was Sean and Judy, right?
Yeah, Judy. Yeah, they're staying pretty tongue-in-cheek with the refs now, so.
Yeah. Haven't seen anything on Judy's Instagram that indicates she's flying to the United States anytime soon. So,
I mean, she was here like a month ago.
Yeah,
I think for a PAL event up in Jersey.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I haven't heard a thing about what Igor's up to these days.
Who knows? Honestly,
Jody, do you know something?
I'm just doing this because that's probably, with all the chaos and turmoil, it's probably smart that he does that and then just come out of nowhere, bam, voila,
did you guys hear Paul Lynn's point last night? He made a very valid point.
I find myself with before you get into that, I find it really challenging to find the time to watch a lot of arm wrestling content.
Yeah,
just because of the time commitment to do it, because there's so much out there. That's great. People can choose whatever they want. But normally I watch when somebody, as long as they choose us. As long as whenever somebody would send me something and say, hey, you should watch this, I watch it. But tell me about Paul Lynn's point. Because
so Paul made a point last night. Obviously, Paul Italia was asking him about PR stuff and Ingen and yada, 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 which I think is honestly irrelevant. Ingen's a grown man and he can do as he chooses. So he doesn't need somebody to speak for him. But Paul made a point about promotions, and he's right in exactly what he said. Paul Lynn, he said there's a place for everybody. There's a place for Arm Gods where, people flock to that. There's a place for King of the Table and East versus West and your small stuff. Like, it's literally like you have your major leagues, which are King of the Table and East versus West. Then you have like your minor league promotions, AWE, King, all that stuff. I mean, there's a place for everybody, and for people to put down promotions, exactly what he was saying. It doesn't make any sense because all they're doing is putting more eyes on the sport, and people should appreciate that. So,
well, the complaint seems to be really based on what they think that promotion should or should not do.
Well, I don't think they really have if they don't have any skin in the game, they don't have a right to tell that promotion what they should or shouldn't do. If you're not fronting the bill to pay athletes to come in or, sponsoring the event. I mean, you could say, oh, I paid my money to the pay-per-view. Okay, yeah, you spent your $9.99 or $19.99, whatever it is you're paying, or $1.99. But your $1.99 or $9.99 or $19.99 ain't going to make a single bit of difference. I hate to tell you.
Well, it's an interesting point. I mean, you can choose where you put your money. You can choose what to watch. And if like, let's say I wanted to leave the sport forever tomorrow and never see it again. I'm pretty confident that I could make that happen.
Yeah. Wait, say that again?
If someone decided they wanted to just quit everything to do with arm wrestling, they never wanted to watch it again, it's upset them, they're done with it. We're still small enough that I think someone could successfully never watch the sport again. So what I'm saying is, if you wanted to cut out a promotion and never see their material, that probably isn't that hard.
No, I definitely agree. I think it's very viable and very easily doable.
But the fact that they're still around means there's enough people that still want to see what they're doing, regardless of the size. So there was a lot of chatter about Arm Gods when that happened with all the gimmick stuff, right? And a lot of people didn't like that, and some people did.
Yep.
But they sure watched. I mean, it was enough that
they're talking about doing electric shock match now, where the pads are electric.
Oh yeah, so the promo is out there. So we don't want to see it, Jody, but I kind of do.
No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see where we at the 40-minute mark. I don't want to see that shit, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, here's the thing.
If it's enough shock to make you close your hand and not be able to open your hand, you know where that match is going. It's going to be there. Might be. It could be crazy.
If they want to do that, that's cool. But my thing is, don't try to like make it seem like, oh well, if you don't watch it, then you're not a real fan. Don't do that.
That's the statement that bugs me the most. If you criticize somebody and they say you're an enemy of the sport or something like that, that doesn't mean that any of that.
Because Evan did that to me on my show, basically telling me that because I didn't support the match or you didn't watch it, you don't know what you're talking about. And the only reason why I did watch that match was a favor to him and Paul Maiden. Other than that, I had no recollections of watching that damn match. And
I mean,
of course, you don't watch the whole event to get to that. But
you're a purist, Jody. There's nothing wrong with being a purist. It's like the same people that are pissed off about the pitch clock in baseball. It's like, oh, it's not baseball because it has a pitch clock now. Well, okay, you're a purist, whatever, but you're still watching it.
I'm gonna watch the match with the same mindset I had when I watched ECW. I know what I'm getting into. I'm pretty sure it's a work, and I don't think that it's going to be. Remember X-Arm?
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah. I remember.
You see how long that lasted?
Cobra Rhodes back in the day. I had this little page I started up. It was like a hardcore arm wrestling page, and he criticized the fact that I called it that, and he said on a message board, John Miazdick must be turning in his grave. And I thought that was so hurtful to say that to me, but I get your point. And then 10 years later, I see X-Arm, and I'm like, holy shit, have you done a 180? Because this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You got all these arm wrestlers and some fighters, and it's somehow tying each other together. It reminded me of that. Oh man, what is that match, Jody, where they have the lasso that they tie each other?
The dog collar match.
Not the dog collar, but their wrists are tied together.
The strap match.
Yep. Yeah.
The bull rope match?
Yeah, the bull rope match.
Yeah. Dusty Rhodes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was such a weird thing, but they're really fighting. Like they're beating the shit out of each other. I mean, some guy armbarred another one over top of an arm wrestling table.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's so.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. People can say all that stuff they want, but Jody, I agree. Like it's not something I particularly am going to be a huge fan of, but it got on TV. Like I sent a picture to Ryan and you both the other day. Remember, it was Pillow Fighting World Championships were on ESPN.
This is true.
Pillow Fighting World Championships. And we can't even get our ducks in a row to be on ESPN anymore. So,
well, that's the thing. We can't. We are who we are. Like I understand we as purists want to see our sport, and everybody in the chat want to see our sport go further than what we are. Problem is, we just live in a weird society right now of car wrecks, people getting badly beaten and hurt, and people love it. That's just the sport. That's just the way we live in right now. Unfortunately,
people love chaos.
Right. I had a video that popped up on Instagram, on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure YouTube Shorts at one point. It was a fight in a bowling alley where they were throwing bowling balls at each other, and it was just someone's video they shot. And that's the kind of stuff that goes viral nowadays.
Well, I mean, look, remember the Twisted Tea video where dude smacked old boy in the head with Twisted Tea and the Twisted Tea sales went through the roof? I mean, all you need is that one moment to make something go from where it's at to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe it is electrified arm wrestling pad matches, or
I think that's the exception, not the rule.
No, I understand, but I'm saying we don't know what, based on today's society, what is going to be the tipping point to get arm wrestling to the mainstream, if that makes sense.
And this is why we were talking, and I'm breaking down the fourth wall, because normally when we talk before we go on the air, it kind of stays in that box, but I'll let this one out. This is when I said there are certain things that crossed my mind where I would love to go back to the old school underground arm wrestling, because you didn't have all that dumb shit going on then. It was all about competition, who was showing up. It was cool then. That's what made me get into the sport. It was a competition. It was the fact that all the names you heard before that were so good, oh, they're going to be at this tournament. Oh, I got to go now. I got to go to see that guy. It was about that. It wasn't about, somebody bringing a freaking baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, set on fire, trying to knock the hell out of somebody. It wasn't nothing like that,
Speaking of purism, I don't know if you guys caught Neil's show the other day, his last one on Sunday.
It was pretty cryptic.
Yeah, so Neil is doing a thing. I don't know if it's this weekend or next weekend, but I encourage everybody to go. He's trying to help out a girl in England that lives near him that needs help getting to, I think, Canada for some type of sporting event that she's involved in. I think it's equestrian, I think he said. But he is going to do a thing where if you do a $20 super chat into his YouTube channel, all those proceeds are going to that girl, and he's going to be doing a random draw for the C-shirts that John Brezink and Devin Laird had from their match in 2008.
Arm Wars Deep Waters.
Yes, the Arm Wars Deep Waters shirts. So if you want a chance to win those, make sure to go to the channel and do that. But just go help somebody out. I mean, Neil's an awesome person. We all know that. So if he's trying to help somebody out, it's a genuine cause. So
yeah, he's not just no, he's not the guy.
He's not trying to, he's not going to try to steal your money. If he's a man of his word and integrity. If he says all the money's going to that girl to help her out, you damn well better believe that's where it's going. So I would encourage everybody to go donate to help her out, and also take a chance of winning some pretty awesome historic arm wrestling apparel. So
did you happen to see a clip of Neil's? He did a short, and I saw it a few different places.
Throwing his trophies out.
Yes, throwing his trophies out.
Yeah, he said he's throwing out a lot of his ones that didn't mean as much to him. Obviously, he's keeping his world's titles and his Europeans and stuff like that. But yeah,
you know what I always thought was a cool idea, and this might happen someday because I've got quite a collection of plastic trophies up in my garage, is I might use all those trophies to hold a tournament and give them away as prizes. Redo the nameplates on all of them. It's going to be mismatched, like first, second, third. Isn't going to match across the board, obviously. But I thought I would do that. Because when you got a couple hundred of dust collectors, it's not something your kids are ever going to want to keep forever. They'll keep the important ones.
Yep.
But
funny story. Danny and I were talking about that yesterday, because in his shop, you've been in his shop, Ryan. It's a giant wall full of trophies and medals. He's like, "What do you think I should do with these?" I was like, "Oh, it's your call, buddy, but I'd keep the cool ones, but
yeah,
like the generic ones, it's me."
I'm at a point too with that. Obviously, I'm in my dining room. Usually, I'm in my office, and in the back, you see all the trophies I got. Some mean more, than others. The medals are in a different area, and I like those. They're just, you can carry those everywhere you go. But the trophies that are yay tall, if and when I do decide to relocate to a different state or whatever, I got to sit there and go, I got to carry all that with me. It's like crap. and some are gonna fucking break into the U-Haul or whatever. So at some points, I mean, it just gets to a point where you need some house cleaning to do. I'm not like Michael Todd.
Joe. Speaking of which, what happened to the days of the cool trophies? Like everybody's giving out these medals nowadays. What happened to the days of the?
Just thinking that, man. I was just thinking that.
I was thinking that Danny's got some sick ones. Like he's got one that's got like a saber-tooth tiger head in the bottom, and he's got one that's like an arm wrestling table on top. Like some awesome stuff. Everybody now is going to freaking medals.
Except the worlds. Like the last time I was at WAF.
Hold that thought. I got something that's cool. One of my coolest awards. But go ahead, keep talking. I'm gonna go run and grab it.
Okay. At WAF, Engen, when he put it on in 2018, he went like way over the top of the award. So you got your standard medal, right? You had your gold, silver, bronze, but he also had trophies that went with them. So you got a medal and a trophy, and then he had these special awards. There were these championship belts that he had made up.
Oh, nice.
So
I mean, that sounds like something. England loves it so much. You expect him to go above and beyond in everything he does, right?
Yeah. So he gave away it's challenging to get it all home.
Speaking of which, did you see that the Turkish team that England's coaches basically destroyed everybody at Europeans?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Like to have your team go in and dominate like that. I mean, they're one of the, if you look at like the WAF worlds for the last, however many years, it's been Kazakhstan, Turkey, and who else? That's your two main ones, Kazakhstan and Turkey.
We did, yeah. It's
on Sweden. The Swedish women typically dominate too. So
remember when it was Russia? Russia was everywhere. They're killing everybody. I was talking to Dave Hicks about that last weekend.
It's crazy.
He was there reffing with us. Which we had 6 refs and 3 tables going at our provincials.
I saw you guys certified some refs.
We did. A bunch of level 1s and 1 level 3. Congrats, Ward Drake.
So what do you have? What do you have? 4 levels there?
Yeah. So CAWF has 1, 2, 3, and master. Mm-hmm. So I'm the only master in Manitoba. We now have 2 level 3s.
Can I come to Canada and get certified?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
You'd be a CAWF certified referee.
Hey, the more I get, the better.
So let's talk about this award, Jody. What do you got?
It's a 2015 Epic Arms Men's Overall Championship. And what it is, it's pretty unique. It's 2 guys pulling on a table. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, that is
cool. Yeah, it's almost like a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Right. The funny thing, these guys are pulling left hand, but it says right arm, so it's whatever. But still, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
But no, it's just something like this is pretty cool. And this is this was the overall award. So
Michigan State still gives out the gorilla.
How many people go to that tournament just to get one of those?
A lot. So I had this conversation. I'm not a big AAA rule set guy. I would foul out and lose every single match before the match even starts. So.
Was that loading or what?
Yeah, like you have to match the load. If you intentionally slip at all, it's deemed a loss of match. I'm like, I'm out already. I lose. Because I don't like to load. I'd rather not, but
right.
I'm one of those people.
This award ain't going nowhere. This one stays with me. But
yeah, see, stuff like that's cool, right? Like
because it's unique.
Yeah.
Last week we did the medals for provincials, and they're very, very nice medals.
I wish I had.
But we did talk about how come we don't have trophies anymore for some of these tournaments. And I really don't know the answer to that, but it seems to have all gone the other way.
I know the Arizona State medal is about this big. If you get one there, it's literally like the size of my chest. So
it's like one of those Mr. Olympia awards where they're like a big old hubcap.
Remember Flavor Flav wearing the big old clock around his neck? It's like that.
It's starting to morph into that now because when I first got into the sport, it was trophies. Then we start going to plaques. Then we went to medals. Now we're getting like all this other, which is cool because,
Louisiana State does something different than a lot of people. They put out a championship belt, but if you win it, you have to come back and defend it.
Right.
Which is cool. So
I like the UFC style where, yes, you're the champ, but when you come back, if you win again, they give you another belt.
Like a ruby or something you can put on yours.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, I think more people would be opt to go to places too if you have like a nice, cool award.
Well, I got my trophy from the North vs. South Supermatch with Billy Berg. Does that count?
It counts. I have
and no, I'm not drinking alcohol before noon. It's water.
Looks like a beer to me.
It's a liquid death water.
Oh yeah.
I'm on my cut for Arizona, so all the sugar and stuff's out of my diet.
Well, there's UFC fighters that drink red wine the night before because it helps them with their weight cut. It dehydrates them.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what also dehydrates you?
The sauna?
That and rubbing alcohol doesn't allow your body to reabsorb moisture either.
Whoa. Say it again. It does. You have to put it over your body though?
So like if you take wintergreen rubbing alcohol and Epsom salt and take a bath with it, like a hot bath, and lay in it, like you'll sweat and sweat and sweat, but you won't reabsorb the moisture when you towel off and stuff. You'll continue to sweat afterwards. Yeah. Just make sure don't make sure you have any open wounds though.
That's a bad day.
I don't need to worry about the weight cut anytime soon.
Yeah, you guys are lucky.
I don't like cutting weight no more. I don't.
I once was threatened. Someone threatened to stab me in a weigh-in room because I was eating ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
Robbie's the worst with it too, by the way. You'll be dying, and he's sitting there munching on. I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah, eating a pizza in the vehicle on the way.
So funny story. Last year for Mississippi State, the day of weigh-ins, when Danny and I were flying to Hattiesburg, I was 188 pounds, and I had to cut to 172 day of.
Wow.
I spent so much time in an infrared sauna. It's not even funny. I felt like I was going to die.
I have pulled I entered a lighter weight class in powerlifting once, and I pulled in the 110 kilo class in 2000
That's not 231, is that? I thought 105 was
242, sorry.
So I made the 242 class at Nationals in 2013, I believe. And I was really small. I managed to win the left arm at Nationals in that class, and I got fourth on the right. But it was a struggle, man. I think Matt Mask won the right arm. I won the left arm. He got second to me with the left arm.
Yeah, but, I've changed a lot of stuff. Even like my taper doesn't even start now until like I have one more. Like next week, I have one more max effort week, one more max week, and then I taper down for Arizona. So
yeah.
Well, since we're sharing weight cut stories, my first ever Nationals, 2012, and at that time I was a 198 puller. Shocker, right? 198 puller, and because at that point I didn't lift weights, I just table time. That's all I fucking did. So my teammate kind of got in my ear and was like, going, "No, you should cut one weight class down, which would be 187." Thinking, why the hell I want to do that? Because there's got that 220 coming down to 198. I'm thinking, okay, fine. So I was never backstory, was never a wrestler. Okay, I was never a wrestler. So I don't know how to cut weight the right way, right? So last 2 weeks before the event, I'm sitting up here, nothing but salad and fruit. That's all I ate, right? No meat, no nothing, did cardio. Rolled into Reno, Nevada, went up to Harris Casino, got in there, writing my stuff out, I hopped in there. I'm about a couple pounds over. Cool. Sauna, steam room, hanging out in there, got out and almost passed out, because I'm no food, right? Cool. I go back down there.
Load.
Yeah. People are still registering, and hop on the scale. I'm 2 ounces over. Like, you got to be to a T. I'm like, I came this far. I'm not going to say F it now. So I said, well, what should I do now? It's like 10 minutes before registration closes. He said, well, you can go back up there for like maybe 5 minutes, or you can go back there, drop trowel, take your wedding ring off, and see what happens. I said, okay, let's do it. So my teammate makes this wall like that as I'm going here. I'm dropping trowel, taking off my wedding ring. Bam. 187 on the dot. Perfect. Hurry up. Take a picture before that fucker goes back up again, right? All right. So I get my clothes back on. I go to the food court. This was back when Quiznos was a thing, right? So I go to, get this roast beef footlong sandwich and the biggest Dr. Pepper you ever want to see in your life. I took 3 bites of that sandwich and couldn't finish it.
I got one for you quick here. Because I was there. World Championship in Kelowna, BC. I don't remember the year. But Derek Penner.
2008.
2008. There you go. Derek Penner went, he starved himself getting ready for the 198 class or coming up to it. He might have even went down to 187. Sauna cut. Starving himself all the way. Didn't eat for days. Didn't do it right, but he made the weight. We are at a breakfast buffet, and he shows up, and he goes to town. And he just ate and ate and drank and ate. He's like, I don't feel so good. And he goes, I'm going back to my room. So he goes back to his room. And I see all these housekeeping staff running around, and they're trying to find crackers and ginger ale because he is vomiting all over his hotel room while the cleaning staff was there.
Oh,
and they thought he had the flu. But it was just his body rejecting all the stuff he had just eaten.
I mean, especially modern medicine being the way it is now, like it's so easy to rehydrate. Like you can
get somebody there with an IV.
Yeah, there's IV bars everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
although in pro fighting, they
stopped that.
They stopped doing that. But same with blood doping. I mean, blood doping is just using your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And putting it back in you, so you have more of it.
Mm-hmm.
But little tips and
people
tricks.
don't realize how important glucose and sodium is for rehydration. Anyways, like you have to have it. So my go-to is like I will drink like a couple liquid IVs, which have plenty of sodium in them, and then I'll eat like a bag of gummy worms, and then like an hour later I'll go eat my meal because now I can reabsorb everything. So
yeah,
like I'll usually put close to 20 pounds back on prior to the tournament.
Same thing with like used to watch like guys like GSP. When he would get on the scale, he would make his weight.
170.
Before he even had his clothes on, he would be drinking Pedialyte.
Mm-hmm.
Like baby rehydration stuff. And just building up those electrolytes and the salt content, and being 200 pounds by the time he fights the next day.
Yep. Or you could be at Daniel Cormier, have your guys pull a towel, you put your thumbs to kind of just go down like that.
Push on the towel. Yeah. I've got lots of stories like that where guys were leaning on tables or trying to stick a dime to the counterbalance thing on the old doctor scale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
Thankfully, I never had to do that because I was normally, other than that one time, I was super heavyweight.
Jody, do you have to come down and wait for your match with Jamie?
No.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Because once he, who did he pull last? And then he said he's going back down to 176. I can't remember.
Clifton?
Yeah, it might have been at the Montana thing. And he said he's going back down. I'm thinking, well, crap. I'm not going up though either. I'm just kind of, maintaining at what? Because I still want to pull in the 239 class, right? But
yeah, I think. Oh, you want to hear something scary about that 239 class?
What's up?
Somebody I know that's a super heavyweight is coming down to that 239 class.
Besides Mega Mike?
Besides Mega Mike.
You talking about at the Texas qualifier?
Someone I train with constantly.
Okay. Who?
Robbie
Burnett?
is coming down. Burnett is coming down to 239.
Wow.
Well, I'm not a right-hand puller anymore, so it don't matter. Let's go.
I'm just saying he's going to be terrifying at 239.
So basically, Robbie goes down and Anthony Lowe goes up.
Yeah, they've switched weight classes. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Well, Anthony has to drop back down to 220 because he's got that end of the year thing out in Tennessee.
Right.
Man, I can't wait to see those guys pull again, especially Anthony with that extra weight.
I as much as everybody's talking about, oh, who's the favorite in this? I'm not betting against him right now.
Against who? Anthony?
Yeah, and that's Air 64 man. I'm not betting against him.
June 22nd. Same day as my tournament. June 22nd. So
I'm not betting against him. Nope. I know what he feels. I know what he feels like at 220, and I know what he feels like at 260, and they're not the same person.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Have fun, Ryan.
Everybody.
Enjoy good old Jersey.
Man, I'm just going to relax. I'm flying in Friday. I'm going to take part in the press conference, obviously. The fan thing, the VIP event,
I'm gonna send in a super chat and says, Ryan, why is the ethics committee being
I dare you.
You'll know exactly who it is too.
Oh man,
it's gonna be like, you bastard is what I'm gonna get.
It's gonna be a good time. I hope the 98% guys come up again.
Oh, Grindin will be there. I'm excited because that's the only thing I'll be doing Saturday because I work graveyard this weekend, so I'm off at 6 a.m. Saturday. So I'm gonna go home, take a power nap. I think the event starts at 2 p.m. West Coast, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in Jody's live stream and be annoying.
I should set you up on here and you can just do a show on my channel for me.
Yeah.
But I've never done that before. I don't have like dual computer. I don't know how that works actually.
So you're gonna want obviously the one you're doing your live stream off of separate probably from the one you're watching. So you got an iPad or something, watch it on your iPad or whatever.
That's
what I would do.
I have access to do that. Like I have permission to do that, but I don't have all the other stuff. I got this laptop and that's pretty much it. So
you can split screen it. You can pull up two different tabs. Just make sure you have the secondary tab muted so you're not splicing sounds through.
Yeah. All right, guys, ready to jump off? Thank you guys for coming on here with me today. You restore my faith in the sport for only a brief moment until I read some more bullshit. But
don't read it, man. Don't read it.
Just wait till Friday.
Don't read it, man. Don't read it.
That's good. All right, guys.
All right, later. Have fun, Ryan.
Thanks.
Take care.
See you guys.
Take it easy.